Everybody will be starting here in just a little bit. I am grabbing some last pieces to set up for our character build today. We got a little news before that today on May 28th. God, this month has cooked by. So I'll be live here in just a few. Grab yourself something to drink, and we'll start off with the news, and we'll dive into building one of my favorite characters in video game history. Where? In Daggerheart, because I figured if you want to know the system better, you might as well build something in it. Hey, Kyle. We're starting here in just a minute. All right. How are y'all doing? I think I'm done listening to music. Let's get the show going. Hey everybody, welcome to EFP Live. What is it, May 28th? How is it May 28th already? How? How is that a possible thing? Like, we have been cooking through this month. Cooking. How's the music on your guys' end? Ain't too loud? We good? We all right? So I looked all around the house. I thought maybe I had an old shirt for today, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I think it got lost quite some time ago. We're going to be doing a little bit of news. There's actually not a lot of news today. I'll record that section pretty quick. My voice is a little rough. I went to the Brewers game yesterday. Lots of yelling. And then we are going to try making a character in Daggerheart right afterwards. There's a few problems. They don't have a good form fill. So I don't know if I'll print some off and manually write them down and set the cam up, but we'll see. I found one PDF that I can kind of work with, and if Adobe decides to do his job, because I paid them again literally today, maybe I can get Adobe to do what I want it to do. But probably fucking not. So anyway, let's talk news. Let's set up the recording for this. Let's make sure the ad works. Woo! Yep, there's the Daggerheart one. I'm putting this here just so I can replace it, and then we'll go from there. So let's hit record. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, EFP Live, May 28th. We're going to do a little bit of news today. We don't have a ton, just a little bit, just a teensy bit. It has been busy, not only here at EFP, but tabletop has been a little quieter than normal. There's been some controversies with D&D again, but I'm just so tired of giving the double D any form of airtime. We should be giving triple D airtime, because food is good. And D&D and WizKids horrible versions of Baldur's Gate 3 iconic characters that look like melted Play-Doh or maybe crayons. They're fucking bad. They recalled them. That's the news on that. See how quick that was? I'm bypassing that bullshit. Everyone knows the opinion. It sucks. They look horrible. No one wants them. But here's a little insider ball for me. WizKids models have always looked bad. They're just really durable, and they're placeholders on your tabletop to be used as miniatures, but they were never meant to be amazing looking. And I think people who aren't part of the tabletop industry and knows that they're just a cheap buy, easy to use, thought they were going to be amazing looking. They're not. They're fucking ugly. It looks like I painted them drunk with a blindfold on for someone's quinceañera. They're horrible looking. Horrible. So, enough of that. Let's go check out something that I am actually excited about. You know, pretty much anything that isn't D&D nowadays. Let's be real. I mean, it's the truth. So we have a couple new Kickstarters here. I'm going to pause the music so we can take a look at this. This is pretty cool. Sin Eater, it funded in 7 hours. It's a solo RPG. This is a smaller project, but I'm actually really interested in this. I've been digging solo games a lot more.
The shadows and confront the sins of the past. Sin Eater is a haunting new solo journaling game inspired by the historical practice of sin eating, a ritual where one individual absorbs the transgressions of the dead to grant them peace at the cost of their own soul. Created by Annika Seeler and brought to life in partnership with Hunters Entertainment,
I really like this.
Sin Eater weaves together themes of redemption, sacrifice, and the crushing weight of human transgressions into an unforgettable solo narrative experience.
Okay.
Tell the story of your Sin Eater's loathsome past. Craft
I love this art.
Unique rituals and wield bizarre tools to navigate the sins of the departed. Incorporate real keepsakes from your own life, blurring the line between self and sin.
Oh, cool.
Balance feast and flesh with 2 custom coins, each face representing one of the 4 humors that will make or break your ritual.
I dig this art
Each
a
decision
lot.
carries weight.
It has an Elden Ring
Do you
vibe.
eat to absolve or eat to condemn? And either way, by what right do you adjudicate for the hereafter? Elevate your sordid ritual with beautifully crafted rewards. From the standard prideful archival edition to the stunning deluxe envious
Look at the leather
edition,
journal right here.
designed to enhance every moment of your journey.
Huh.
Consume, absorb, absolve, condemn. Become the Sin Eater. Back us on Kickstarter.
I mean, I don't know about you all, but this looks really cool. Let's take a look through the stretch goals here and see if it is actually of value. Like, is it really as good as it looks? So, I love the old medieval kind of looking art style. This is amazing. That's wild that they got away with putting this on Kickstarter. Like, actually eating. Does that say wipe your goddamn mouth? Oh my God. Bravo. Okay. I'm interested in that. Very cool. Is this an actual play of it? I'm going to have to watch this later. Yeah, no, I've been digging these solo RPGs lately. It's something to do as I'm trying to like create new character stories and stuff like that. I've really enjoyed playing them more and more. Dark Souls, Bloodborne. I have this Dark Souls. They really fucked this book up. I'm hoping maybe they fixed it, but we'll see. Those are really cool. There's a lot here. Those are interesting. I'll put the links down below. If you're live, I'll put it in chat after we're done here. The different support levels are $20 for the Wrathful Illumination tier. Looks like you get a PDF copy of the book. Early Bird Prideful Archive, $45. Obviously, you have the Envious Glider at $230, which is that big bound set with everything in it. They have a bunch of stretch goals as well, as you can see here. I'm curious to see how this goes. So check it out. Sin Eater looks awesome. It's a smaller solo RPG coming out, but it makes me happy. Now, this music I have on for something very specific. For Neon City Outlaws. Look, I love me some dystopian. I love me some cyberpunk. There's some really good people on this new Kickstarter, and I think it deserves a pretty good
Neon
look.
City Outlaws is the next tabletop role-playing game from Rodney Thompson and Scratchpad Publishing. Take on the role of a crew of thieves tasked with pulling off a heist in a cyberpunk dystopia of your own creation. Using the included setting book, your fellow players will make choices about core elements as the scenario calls for them.
Its color's clean.
Locations, factions, and characters in a matter of minutes. Each entry guides you through the process with a series of targeted questions, leaving room for improvisation and creativity by providing a place to
Put blank spaces, room for creativity. I mean, yeah, kind of, but
record additional truths about that element. Will your city be based on a modern metropolis or something brand new? Will it be oppressively brutalist or shiny and clean on top? But
there's a cyberpunk city building game I've been playing on and off in the background on Steam that makes me want to build it there.
Backed up, downloaded, loaded into an entirely different body.
So little Eclipse Phase meets Altered Carbon.
Fly during gameplay, covering up part of your character sheet with a new body's statistics.
Oh, that's creative.
Then resuming play immediately. Bodies can be augmented.
That's actually really cool mechanically.
Genetic engineering.
I don't.
Psionic awakening.
Not the art that I would want for this, but
sentient artificial intelligence.
it seems so
Your character's
juxtaposed between these two.
virtual reality network, Manifesting is an avatar in the digital realm.
Huh.
Simply overlay an avatar sheet on top of your character sheet.
That is
Into a
smart.
virtual world. Fighting against the corporate oligarchy isn't
I-
all heists and con games. While the mega
I like that
corporations ruin the
a lot.
environment and the lives of everyday citizens, outlaw factions join in the revolution, a phase of play that can transform the entire city.
It's got a little board game too to it.
Districts for uprising
Huh.
and create instability across the city through disruption, bribery, corruption, or violence.
This is such a weird
Neon City
trailer,
Outlaws
though.
uses the newest evolution of the 100 AC system.
100 AC. I don't know if I've used this system before.
The same system used by Dusk City Outlaws and Spectaculars.
No, I haven't played any of those.
The core game consists of 2 books, the hardcover rulebook and the softcover setting book, both available physically and in PDF. Also
Okay.
available is the 4-panel administrator screen and a deluxe edition of the game that includes both rulebooks.
All the
and administrator
trade dress is
screen, a slip
really
that
nice
holds
looking.
All 3, a set of advantage and
Oh, it's special dice for this. Okay.
dice, and PDFs of all items.
Yeah.
Neon City Outlaws.
I mean, it looks cool. That character sheet overlay piece is actually really awesome. I've thought about doing that for years and I never have. The fact that someone's actually doing it in their Kickstarter for our new game is really cool. Like the fact that these just stack like this. So you got the synth now, your Neon City, and you got the synth over it. There was Atomic Robo had something similar where you pick two different parts of yourself to build your character. But I dig that a lot. That's a really smart play, character sheet wise. And I like the blurry though here, but I like how they're plug and play. Very distinct art style though. Well, this is cool. So this is going now. They have 15 days left on this one. I at least wanted to show these 2 off. I think these are the only 2 Kickstarters I have for you for the day. Now, with that said, we do have a little bit more news. We have some news that I'm extremely excited about. As ETHAUNTIA is made in the Dragonbane system, I know that I have been looking for more magic. I know my players want more magic, especially Todd. Todd loves magic and Dragonbane, and I honestly can't blame him. It's probably my favorite version as well. So check this out. We'll be doing a deeper look into this later, but for now, I at least wanted to showcase EN World. Dragonbane, June 3rd on Kickstarter. We're getting, I think it's Arcand and Book of Magic. This little mallard looks like he is from 40K. But I love we're getting more magic. This is going to be coming out. Arcand, the City of Waves and Flames. And then we're getting the Key Book of Magic, which has got 5 new schools. What else? We get more spells. And is there anyone I know working on this one? Oh, Harnstrom is going to be on this. One of the main people for Free League. So I'm excited this is coming out. I'm a big fan of Dragonbane. I've been waiting for more books. They put about 1 out a year, which people were getting mad about, but I kind of like that it's a slow burn. I'm definitely going to get my hands on this one. Maybe I'll get a review copy early. Take a look at this when I get a chance. So June 3rd, put it in your calendars. Links will be down below. There may be a preview page. If there is, I'll put that there as well. Next, I was looking through EN World, and I was really looking for some new news to look at with you guys. But I didn't see anything that I really loved in this rundown. Like, I went through a lot of stuff, really kind of looking for what's new. I guess the biggest thing that I can talk about is obviously Daggerheart is releasing here in June. The full version will be out publicly. You can already go buy the PDFs and, take a look at what there is. We did a good scroll through on our last show. I put out a video on my thoughts on it as well, which is apparently people are interested in Daggerheart, which is awesome. Anytime a new game can hit the scene and everybody has a chance to play something other than the main, foundational pillars, and it's coming from a good crew, and Darrington Press has made some really great stuff. So I'm glad that there's more press coming out from them. There's a whole bunch of new stuff about what they're releasing. I know you can pre-order right now. I think the box set's still available over on Amazon. I recommend doing that and getting a hold of it. Print runs, I know they didn't print enough. It's already been said that they're sold out on their store. There'll be another shipment in July. That's a month away. You'll probably be able to pick it up at Gen Con if you're going to Gen Con this year. But I wanted to make sure to at least mention that the print product is coming out. I do have to say, I really want some good form fill character sheets for Daggerheart. We'll get into that in the second part of our live show. But that's it for news today. I have nothing else. That's all I wanted to talk about. Really clean, really simple. I couldn't find anything else that I was super excited about to share. Just those 3 things. So that's it today for the 28th of May. I hope that helps you with your TTRPG day. Now, for those who are here live, we're going to move into what we're really here to do. I think Neon City looks good. I don't love the art direction. I'm not a big fan of some of it. The character sheet idea in theory looks great. I would love to just try that kind of layering of the character sheets. I think that seems cool. Just realized these are really bright on stream. These are I bought I don't know how long ago this was now, but they are coasters that have 1-inch hex and little grids, but I use them for writing on them all the time. I've drawn maps on them and shit like that. I usually have like 4 of them in my bag, just in case I need to. I just realized how bright it was, though. I was like, damn, those things are bright. Anyway. I don't really have anything else for news. Let me drop these links in here. This Sin Eater looks dope, though, for solo play. Oh, come on. Why? It won't let me drop things in my fucking chat. You piece of shit. Error, try back again. I can't drop things in chat for some reason for myself, so I'll do it here. It won't work on the OBS side for some reason. I feel like this shit happens all the time. So there's Neon City. And then here's the little write-up on Dragonbane. So you guys have the 3 of those. I am going to add them into the EFP live show. Let me find EFP. Adding it to my show notes so I can put them in the bottom afterwards. 28. Nothing. Oh, I am going to play Entity solo here on stream pretty soon. I'm really excited to play that. I should definitely talk about that at some point. With my new work schedule, though, I don't know how crazy it's going to be. So I'm a little worried that I won't be able to do all the stuff I normally do for the summer. But we'll see. It depends how many hours I'm working over there. I'm not going to turn down money. Ridiculous. Those things come in handy. Yeah, they are handy. I really like them a lot. It turned out really well. I have a whole stack of them, but I had to order them from Europe. They didn't have them here in the US at all. I remember what it was during the Dungeon a Day month, whatever it was, a room a day or something like that. I bought those and I used half the pack to do my dungeon rooms, which was a lot of fun. I just inked them with Sharpie. I only use Sharpie for it. So let me delete these. Let's do a little talking about today. So I did the review of Daggerheart last week and I put it out as its own video. It did really well. People are excited about it. The conversation around it has been really positive. A lot of people tell me the same thing on the 2D12 versus D20, why it happened. And Criticalroll has actually done a really good job shooting videos on what their system is about and why they made certain decisions. And they want the GM side to be a little more swingy and a little less grounded in success. And I don't love or hate it. It's just a design opinion. Like, it is what it is. If I wanted to run with 2D12, I could. It just means I would be more successful than not. So I love all that. I think it's cool that they put that stuff together. I think it's awesome they're putting all the videos together. And I was like, man, I really need to build a character for this game. just because I like building characters to learn how a game works, right? The problem is they don't have a form fill. You have to buy the Nexus app to really be able to make characters successfully in a digital way. I found one gentleman that I think during beta made a character sheet that is form fill. So we're going to use that, but it's only the front page. Now, I could set up a paper over here, bring this camera, extra camera here, or that one up there down, and we can view it that way. It's hard to write and have it on screen and make it look good. And I don't think if I cut over here, I don't know what the pupper cam pulls up. See, it's this. Because that's this camera here, right? So I could take this and do this like we do for our other shows and do the pupper cam this way. Where's my... I have a piece over here to tighten. Also, the Pro for Elgato, the camera, gets so fucking hot, guys. I can't even tell you how bad it is. It always just feels like it's cooking itself. Let me move some stuff out of the way. That's a big-ass eraser. So I could print our characters. I have it upside down. Yeah. Because then when it's face down, it's the right side. Right? So I can kind of raise this up and get us a good view of this. And I could do printed sheets to slide this shit over, and we could just do it here. And I think that might be what I do for this, to be honest. I might just do this. Let me make sure it's in. So I think this is probably the best idea. So when we get to it, I'll print the sheets we're going to use. But what I want to make today is I want to make Glenn from Chrono Trigger. I don't know if any of you played Chrono Trigger growing up. This is one of those RPGs where I think I've replayed it 4 times, 5 times in general. And I love the game. I love what it is. One of my favorite characters I played, I took the name from that game, which was the first time I had ever heard the word Magus as a name, and I made my Chronomancer from Chrono Trigger, even though in the game Magus is a fucking vampire and super powerful caster and all this shit. All characters can cast in this game, but this little guy was a squire to a knight who watched his knight die. He grabbed the broken sword that was left behind, which was the Masamune. I think that's how you pronounce it. And he was a frog. And he was cursed. So he's like super loyal of heart, really good character, has some, I think he had fire magic if memory serves. Hold on here. I have a bunch of notes on him. Let me pull them over here. So here's my notes for Glenn. The things that the notes I want to hit. I did like a big note sheet for myself while I was at the Brewers game yesterday. So, let's see here. From Chrono Trigger, adapting a character for Daggerheart is my game plan. He is a frog. His name is Glenn with 2 N's. Chrono Trigger from 95. His role was kind of like a tragic, cursed knight or a loyal warrior. He's also kind of got a noble vibe to him. Very middle-aged look to him. I mean, fantasy, but still middle-age. Not as in middle-age. He's middle-aged. Middle-age is in from the Middle Ages. Backstory I found for him was Glenn was once a human squire and close friend of Cirrus, the kingdom's bravest knight. After Cirrus is killed by Magus, Glenn is transformed in an anthropomorphic frog by the Dark Sorcerer's magic. Racked with guilt and sorrow, Glenn takes up Cirrus's broken blade, the Masamune, and vows to protect the kingdom of Guardia and seek justice. Despite his amphibian form, Glenn maintains a noble heart, a code of honor that defines his every action. He's a walking paradox, cursed in a body, but pure in spirit. So when I saw the rivets in Daggerheart, I immediately knew I wanted to make this character. He has some magic. He's swordsmanship, he's got water magic, he's a leader, and he's pretty resilient. So those are kind of the core pieces as I look through all the cards and stuff for me to build Glenn. Themes that I want to find a way to do a redemption arc for him. From Cursed Exile to Chosen Protector, I kind of want to do that arc. I want him to be oathbound in some purpose. I don't think there's a paladin in the game, but I want him oathbound. I think the transformation will be easy. I'll just give him Ribbit and say it's a curse. Super simple. I might do the mixing of the races or ancestries, and I might take human and Ribbit and merge them to kind of give that cursed vibe, like a little bit of his past, a little bit of the current. And then Sword and Sorcery, classic blend of Blade Mastery and Elemental Magic, which is water. Faith in others, believes in heroes, and helps others. So I have a pretty good breakdown of what I want him to be. I need to figure out how to make him what I want. So I am going to record this section, but I think I kind of want to go through, plot out our choices first, and then put it in effect. And I think this piece that I found is the art that I want to use for him. There's a lot of art, like, for Glenn over the years. This is the one I used for the thumbnail. But I love this dude's rendition of him on ArtStation. I'll show you the sketch video he does too. I love that one too. So also he's got a mustache. Like, I don't know, man. There's something about this character. I've always dug him. He's a little badass though. A little badass. He got the job done. That's also a really good picture. Really good picture. Just gonna quickly scroll. Oh, I like that too. Oh, I don't know what that's from. Classic watercolor version of him. He's got a little more of like a Zelda vibe to him. But anyway, I think this is the one I want. And so I went over the person's ArtStation. It just says Art Cup. They're an artist at Nickelodeon. But I love this piece. And then they even did a... Hold on here. You pause it. Let's pull it up. He even did a video. Right, drawing out Glenn. What's up, AW? Which I thought was fun. So my goal is to build Glenn. I think it should be pretty easy. I really do. And I'm liking a lot of Daggerheart so far, and I'm really excited for the card builder to come out. I think the card builder for Daggerheart is going to make homebrew really fucking easy for people. Really, I really do. I bet you, though, when that card thing comes out, when you make cards, if you sell cards, you're not going to be able to use that frame builder. They're going to make you use your own, which I'm fine with. I'll make a new one in like 10 minutes. So I looked around, I started looking for character sheets. And I did find a weird Steam community, PDF owners, full art card replacement guide. Here's a few questions I had. Figured I'd do a brief explanation on how to replace the no art cards in this mod with full art cards if you own the Daggerheart PDF. But I've never seen this. I thought this was maybe for tabletop, but it's for Daggerheart. I don't know. Yeah. It did Daggerheart as a setup here to be able to play it, which I think is super cool for your virtual tabletop. So it's really nice, really easy. They did a great job building it. I'm interested in maybe, actually, I'm just going to subscribe to it. I'm interested in checking this out later. There might be something I can use it for. I'm thinking maybe for when I want to showcase things here on the channel, this might be a good way to showcase some games and stuff like that. Looks like they're just playing on the dirt in a park. Anyway. So we're going to be doing that. I think I got everything I need. Put our music back on. So let's get our PDF up. I think that's probably what we're going to need to start here. So I found, so this is the traditional character sheets. And then this is the one I found that is a form fill. And they look identical. Except they put boxes here instead. I just want to make sure this is going to work. You know what I mean? You made clickables here. These are clickables. I don't understand what exactly. I think they just drew boxes over the pre-existing. And then this is where the name of the class would go. But in his, you can add it in. Or stats, level. That looks identical. He's got the proficiency. I don't think he made the hands clickable or anything. But there's only one page. And in the traditional sheet, you have your main page and class feature, and then you have your second section here. So I'm probably going to have to print this sheet, is my game plan. So we go to the core rule book. Let's look at making a character. Right? This is the thing we have to do. We're going to need some notes. I'm going to need something to write on for this. Let me get I have an old journal. Here, let's turn this on. This is my Travelers that I've been using for, I mean, you can see it's got like ink stains on it from me doing work to try to fix it, but it's all stained up. Clip. I've replaced this band probably 3 times. You can see it sits in a bag a lot. Like this has been through some shit. It's been through the hell. So if I open this like as an old, I don't remember where I got this at, but it's a Celtic knot for snakes, and then it's got the Aries symbol on the back that's even inked up from ink spillage. So inside here, I have all of like these sticky notes. This is my travel journal for a lot of stuff. Sticky notes. My old was Norse Foundry. Now it's my EFP stuff, Band-Aid, stickers, all that kind of stuff, right? And then the next one was for Detroit Living City. It's got drawings for companies I did, notes, things like that. We are going to need this board. Okay. I got some other random stuff in here. I also have a bunch of these numbered clips in here. I don't know if you can see that. They're like numbered clip pieces. This is like the beginning of the Ryzen Design logo I was doing, right? And then my notes, TPK notes, stuff like that in here. And this has got notes in it. So it's like, all right, this is good. So this is an old one. I could use this, but then I got my Blackwing version that came out. And this became my like travel one afterwards for gaming. So now this is a work folder. On this, it came with like the little filed down pencil charm. So in here, this is just mine. This is no work oriented. So I got this in here. I got some good stickers, stuff like that. Like I love this from Scrimshaw. And it's got a little business card holder. This one is the one that came with it. This piece here. And I really haven't done much with this one. It's got like some notes when I'm doing game design. Like you can probably recognize this from Choice of Life. All right. And it's got a second area for that. But if we fold it over, also local shop that closed. 2 of my favorite stickers. I got a cloth one here. Usually I have coffee in here. Do I still have coffee in here? I have the mushroom coffee in here. This is my Tales book. So this is the one I've been using for all my adventures when I go to games. Just have one. You can see like the years getting marked on it as I go through. You can tell I don't get to play games. I always run. So like these are only convention games in here. And this is where I keep all my convention game stuff over the years. You can even see maps and stuff. All right. And I drew this while we were playing of the area I thought what I thought the area looked like. So these are just all character games that I've played over the years. Some Jason in the front. I tied this one in with a leather tie instead. I know Serving Hands. I do too. I love Scrimshaw. Scrimshaw is my jam. So you can see some of these are coming off. But it like fucks up papers at the top. People get mad. I don't care. I just don't care. So I think I'm going to put my cheat sheet for what we're designing today in here. Right? So I guess we don't actually need this. I can put this back in. Also, that's the front of the Traveler's board. So I guess we can use that. These flung out. I did get these. They're the wrong size for something that I bought. They're little, like, holders. Like cards and shit. But they're from Spy X Spy. But they don't fit anything. So I've just been keeping them separate. I think I just had them in here in case I wanted them for anything. So let's use this. We're gonna use this. I think this is the best bet. So we're gonna put our board back. I like journal. I like Traveler's journals overall. I will say they don't lay flat. Like they do this shit. Right? And it gets a little annoying to me. I do hate that part of it. So I usually set the metal clips aside, grab one of these, and we'll just do that for the day. But if we're going to do this, might as well use a Blackwing, right? Might as well use one of the ones that came with it. Slide this forward. So we'll do this. It's got a little end protector on it. I guess we'll use this for it. So we know we have this up. I'm going to use it as notes. I'll flip back to it as it's needed. I just realized that doesn't... You can't see it when I do that. Well, that sucks. Hold on here. Is the scroll active? The scroll is not active. So let's change the scroll. This is going to be from here forward. We're going to do Daggerheart character creation plus May 28th, 2025. Just to fill the thing here. I like having this up once in a while down here at the bottom. But we need the pupper cam when this turns on or off. Let me see how that works. It's really just no style to it. It's just in your face. I don't particularly like that. Let me see what's seen. Okay. I'm gonna have to fix this real quick. Pupper cam. Yeah. We need to do a hide, show and hide here. Hold on. See how this looks. So pop in, and we'll do a slide out. Okay. Hide, slide. Right. See if that looks okay. Boop. Boop. No, we don't want that. We want it to go the other way. Let's try it now. Boop. Why are you doing that? Why are you being like this? try it now. I just want to make it look good so that when we record this, that it looks appropriate. I hit the right direction. Oh, you know what? They changed this. I remember this now. I bet you it works this time. There we go. All right. So let's look at Daggerheart character creation. Let's get some notes together. I feel like I should be able to do this pretty easily. Personally. So I got my pencil board. We don't need a session 0. We don't need to think about character concepts because we already do it. So it's class first. Just gotta choose class first. Class and then subclass. So class plus subclass. Okay, so that's 1. What page does this start on? 13. It's going to mark page 13 for the things that we're going to look over. So what do we think fits? I guess he's kind of a guardian, but he was such a master swordsman. I hate to give him guardian. I mean, vengeance is kind of cool, but he's not really a vengeance. He's not a seraph. He's not a healer. Not a sorcerer. He might just be a warrior. Let me put this view on scroll. I don't know how many of you guys remember Chrono Trigger. That's probably a better question. Any of you guys play Chrono Trigger growing up? Strike down adversaries with force. Play the Call of the Brave if you want to use the might of your enemies to fuel your own power. That's difficult, man. That's really difficult. Let's check this out. Okay, starting hit points. Evasion's all right. Right? Let me zoom this out 1. It's a little too close. Foundation. Features. Call of the Slayer. What's your Slayer ability? Gain a pool called Slayer dice and a roll with hope. You can place a d6 on the card instead of gaining hope, adding to the die pool. You can store a number of Slayer dice equal to your proficiency. When you make an attack roll or damage roll, you can spend any number of the Slayer dice, rolling them to adding the result to the roll. At the end of each session, clear any unspent Slayer dice. Oh. I mean, he was a master sword fighter, I believe. Hold on here. Glenn and Chrono Trigger. He's technically a knight, but skilled swordsman. Yeah, I think we go with Slayer. I think we have to. Add special text like the tongue grapple. Let me put some notes over here on this page. Let's get some Glenn notes here. So, according to the sheet, actually, I'm gonna put this down here. According to the sheet, it says that his Glenn, he had special text. And they were specifically like tongue. He could summon frogs, tongue to grapple. We're obviously not gonna be able to get all of it. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna put grab, summon frog. Okay, I like these. I thought he had water combat too. Yeah, water magic. So he had water magic. I don't know how we're going to weave that in. I don't know what we're going to do to get water magic in on this, right? And then, besides that, let's zoom this in just a little bit for you guys. I feel like this is still a little far away. There. Water magic, and then swordman. Swordmaster. So those are my notes. Like, these are the things that I feel like there. I'll highlight these just for my own personal things. I think Slayer. So I think he's got to be a Slayer. Is that what it is? Or is it Warrior? Call the Brave, call the Slayer. What's Call the Brave? When you fail a fear roll, you gain hope. Once per long rest before you attempt something incredibly dangerous or face off against a foe who nearly outmatched you, describe the ritual you perform, the preparations you make. When you do, clear 2 stress and gain 2 hope. I mean, the Brave is pretty good. Like, do we want to go the Master Swordsman route where he does more damage? Or should we do the Brave where they're able to, like, overcome fear, have rituals to doing stuff, and then the Master feature, the camaraderie. Unwavering bravery, the rally point for your allies. You can initiate a tag team roll 1 additional time per session. Additionally, when an ally initiates a tag team roll with you, they only need to spend 2 hope instead of 3. That'd be cool. He's kind of like a combo package guy. Man. Thanks for the sub, Brian. I think that I want him to be the Brave. I think we got to do class, Warrior. And then we need to do Brave. I love the Slayer, but like, I don't know, he wasn't vengeance driven. He wanted to take down the person, but he ends up working with Magus eventually. This is just hot though. This skill is dope. So let's head back. So we picked Warrior in our subclass, right? Our level's going to be 1. We know that. And we're going to be level 1. Okay. Record character details. Any point in the character creation, feel free to fill out your character's name. Well, we already know his name. It's Glenn. So let's go over to this. Let's try using this form fill, shall we? So I'm gonna file. We're gonna save this because I want it to be separate. We're gonna save as Glenn. We're gonna save it in Daggerheart. Save it as Glenn. Level. When I save characters, I usually put the level in the save file, so I know where they started. So looking at the sheets, it's the name of the class, and then Grace and Codex. That must be their 2 domains. Sage and Arcana. Well, we know he's a warrior, so let's just put warrior. Okay. His name is Glenn. I'm just gonna put cursed. What is missing here? I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, subclass. We went with Brave, right? Is that what it was called? The Brave? Call of the Brave. Call of the Brave. All right. Call of the Brave. All right, done. So we've called the Brave there. So that's the general gist of what we need. Okay. I choose our heritage. So this is pretty easy for us. We know we're going to be a rivet. So 2 is heritage. And I'm writing this stuff down because I find it easier for me to remember the steps if I've written them down at least once. So we're going to go rivet. Was it ET? That's ET. I'm a dumbass. All right. We'll add that to our character sheet. Wrong one. Rivet. All right. We had to choose our community. I don't know what I would take. I guess highborn, right? Because he was a no. Let's see here. Pull up Chrome. Was he a noble? Trigger. Where was he born? And later becomes a character known as Frog. Was born in Guardia, like Tristan. He was raised in Guardia. Was he a noble though? I don't know if he was a noble. Let's try. Was he a noble? Was he born in Wisconsin? No. Glenn, he was presumably a squire under Cyrus in the Knights of the Square Table. This pun only exists in the SNAP's PS version. No, he closed platonic friendship. Close platonic friendship with the queen. He's a noble. Okay, so we'll go back to our PDF then. And I'm thinking we'll go through the cards here. I have the Artless card here, just so we have it. And I have the full version in the back too, though. So let's look for where you're born. It must be at the very end. These are all spells. Yeah, here we go. Highborn. Highborn in the community means you're accustomed to a life of elegance. I don't think he's elegant. I don't like any of these, really. Like, what do we take? He's not Seaborn. He's not Slyborn. He's not Underborn. He's not Wanderborn. He's not Wildborn. It really just needs to be Cursedborn. Right? Like, we need like a Curseborn version. I mean, I guess order? Dedicated, record 3 sayings or values your upbringing instilled in you once per rest. When you describe how you're embodying one of those principles, current action, you can roll a d20 as your hope die. Well, I guess we'll do Orderborn. Right? So where does that go here on the sheet? Ribbit, class, level. Oh, I forgot to put level in 1. I don't see a place to put your community. Do these sheets have a community spot? I see class features. It's on the second page, maybe? No. Where are you supposed to put your community at? I see heritage, I just don't see a community area. Because you don't want to keep the card with your character the whole time. Where the fuck are you putting it at? I'm looking at the different classes to see if I noticed it anywhere. Why would you not have a spot? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, the Orderborn though, but there's nowhere to put it. It just says Grace and Codex here, but I don't have a place to put. I mean, I guess I'll put it next to his heritage. It's not really part of it. It's community. I guess it goes under there. So I guess it's just going to be next to each other. I don't know. So we're going to put Ribbit and Orderborn. I think they spell it with an E, if I remember correctly. And we get this. So I'm going to... Can I... Oh, you can't cut that? We're on page, what, 16? Maybe I can cut it from here. No, it's an image. You can't copy it. You're making a character, you want to be able to copy and paste this shit. Why? Can't do it here either. That's the Ribbit. I know it's off screen, but... Okay. Feel very forced into buying Nexus. Like, legitimately. Well, I'm just going to put that we did Ribbit and Orderborn. And see maybe if there's an area coming up where I can cut and paste them. You know what I mean? All right, so step 3. So I have a lot of stuff highlighted from our last time through here. On your character sheet, these values reflect your nature, your training ability for each of these 6 stats: agility, strength, finesse, instinct, presence, and knowledge. We know agility and strength are going to be his best stats. So trait modifiers associated with each trait are added to the roll. So we get a 2, a 1, a 1, a 0, a 0, a -1. Okay, I think this is pretty easy. If we were looking at the stats here, I think this would be a 1, a 2, a -1, a 0, a +1, and a 0. That's how I would put those. And then if we go into back down here, there's no stat bonus here. I don't know if Ribbit gives you... No. Ribbit doesn't get... He does get to fight with his tongue, though. You can breathe out and move naturally underwater. Okay. So, like, where do these extra abilities supposed to go? You just supposed to collect the cards and use them the whole time? I don't like that. I don't like the lack of an area to write down basic thoughts on my sheet there. Here, you got character traits and shit like that you can put. I guess we can take this sheet. I can print this sheet. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just print the Brave. Hold on. Let's go to Warrior. I think I'm just going to print this. We can get to it in one of these days. God, there's so many sheets of this game. So I think we just print this and this so that we have it. Because I don't have this sheet to fill out. You know what I'm saying? And it comes with everything here. I can also just copy this too. I'm curious to see how their cut and paste works here. Oh, it's fucking bad. Ugh. Hold on. Let's clean this up. Can't have it look like this. You gotta love when cut and paste is just a fucking disaster. All right, so we have it on there. You guys can't see it because it cuts here, but I had to add a separate sheet. I don't know if I can hack this one. Let me see if I can add another page. Let's do a blank page so I can scroll. And now I can scroll so you can see it. You know, hold on. What page is this? 19? Hold on a minute. Hold on one fucking second. If I do Control P and we do PDF and I do current page and I say print, it should save it. Yep. Like so. No, don't do that. Do Warrior, select all, Warrior, page 2. So we're gonna add it. Done. We're gonna go back to Glenn. We're gonna go back to tools, back to organized pages. So yes, it printed it the way I wanted. Okay, perfect. So now I should be able to add it back in here and add this, an actual tongue lashing. Yes, right. Yes. I want to add another page. We're going to insert from a file. Warrior page 2. It won't be form filled, but I can just add form fills in, and we can just type in between here. And these boxes, I'll just put lines through. And we won't even have tier 2 yet, because we're building tier 1. And then I can use my highlighter and highlight over everything. We are going to go with the longsword. That is for sure. And this is going to be his Masamune. So hold on here. Let me find it. Broken Masamune. Trait range. Oh, I didn't mean to. I mean, I guess it's agility, melee. Oh man, so strength isn't for damage. I might have to swap this. It might be agility 2 and this 1. To be honest. Because I think you use your agility to fight with a sword. Sprint, lip maneuver. Agility means you're better at feats that test your physical prowess. Stamina. Strength to break through a door, lift heavy objects, hold your ground, a charging foe. Yeah, I think I might switch it. But we did step 3. Step 4. Step 4 is add character information. So step 3, we did our assign stats. Which we did. Stats are assigned. Problem solved. Right? We did our, so it was what, +2, +1, 0, 0, -1. So we did that. Our evasion is how hard it is for adversaries to hit you. Starting class appears right underneath the evasion field. So we still need this because you got to be able to scroll up here. I'm going to close this bitch though, I think. No, we'll keep that. We still need to scroll up here and look at the warrior and look at their starting evasion. They start at 11. So if we go back to here, we know he's an 11 to start. Okay. It's pretty clean. We've added this second sheet in so we have access. I would say that's a longsword that he's using. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's a longsword. So when we get to weapons, we know that that's what we're looking up. Your character's health and well-being are represented by hit points and stress. Hit points, sometimes called HP, are an abstract reflection of your physical form, the ability to take damage. Each class starts with a set number of hit points and stress, reflects your ability to withstand. Every class starts with 6 stress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Done. Hope and fear. We'll get into that later. At level 1, our proficiency is 1. Already marked. Okay. Our character's evasion starts low. What's up, Nick? We're building Glenn from Chrono Trigger in Daggerheart. Yeah, Kyle's here as well. I don't know how I feel. So 4 is additional info. Which is like evasion, armor. Oh no, armor's later. It's HP and stress. Okay. Oh, AW is here too. I know you're still here. What's up, AW? I don't like... Okay. I have a pretty good brief for him. Here, I'll give you... Nick, let me give you... I'll just copy and paste it for you. This is all the information, Nick, that I have on... Here. There you go. That's the breakdown of everything I have for him. So we did all that. What I don't get is like your evasion's 11. It doesn't sound like it really goes up at all in the beginning of the game. Maybe the gear is going to make a difference, but in step 4 of this, it's just additional info, evasion, HP, and stress. And we know that stress, everyone starts at 6. And we know that for HP, hit points and stress, hit points sometimes called HP, are an abstract reflection of physical fortitude. Make hits from both blade. Each class starts a set number of hit points, so it is class-based. So if we go back to here, and we look at the class, their hit points are 6. So if we go back to here, 6, stress 6. So that's the same. So nothing changes. Nothing gets added from that. And if we go into here, let's go all the way to this part. We pulled our ribbit information, which I know is cut off the bottom for you, but let me just... Almost every single thing that I make, I have to add a blank sheet at the end for scrolling. And then I save it. I just save it. So I have this blank sheet at the end of each one. Because when I scroll, I want to be able to scroll all the way down so you guys can see this, right? So we did our ribbit, which gave us the tongue lash and the ability to swim. We did Orderborn, which gives us a D20 for our hope dice instead of a D12 for some rolls. And then we did Call the Brave. Your unwavering bravery, because we did Warrior. We have camaraderie, and that makes people so they can spend 2 hope instead of 3 if we do a tag team action, which is also fucking cool. Wing Sentinel's normal. I'm not doing any of that kind of stuff. We just have our regular specialization. What I want to know, so here's another Call the Slayer. Another Call the Brave, which is Rise to Challenge. And I think these are later. Like, when does this trigger? Because if I look at the character sheets here, if Adobe does his job, we have Warrior, Blade and Bone, character trait options, what you can select, but there's no, like, extra sheet. I don't... Okay. All right, we'll continue on. We did everything they said so far. We did our points. We put everything in place. Oh, we get 2 +1s. I fucked that up. Just for my notes here, when I'm talking, when I do the recording for this. Okay. All right. So 5, choose equipment. You'll choose starting equipment, weapon, armor, and other items. Choose, we did our long sword. We'll look up the stats later. We have a 1 proficiency. Our armor, they recommend, if we go back up here, actually, we have it on our sheet because I added this page in. They recommend armor chainmail, and I think that's a pretty good armor for him, but it's a -1 to evasion. So that means our evasion's a 10 because we're wearing armor. And then the armor stat is threshold 7, 15, score 4. So this score is 4. And then here is 7, 15. I believe that's how it works. I'll have to look up the severe because I don't remember what the severe score is. Might be right here. How much a character can endure before marking hit points. Add your character level to both values and record the total for both numbers. The hit points and damage thresholds in this section in Chapter 2. You'll learn how many hit points to mark. So my question is, this says 7, 15, score 4. Did they add level 1 in? Is it really 6, 14? So we're gonna have to go look up gear. This isn't clickable. You can't go look up armor. So we'll have to get to armor, right? We'll have to do that That's step 5. So step 5. And for those who wonder what I've written down so far, step 5 is starting gear. And we're going to do a longsword and chainmail, but we need a shield because he fights with a sword and shield. Boo, no hyperlinks. That's right. No hyperlink there. There's no hyperlink there. I don't know why. I don't know why there's no hyperlink. I don't know what caused the lack of a hyperlink, but there's not one there. So we've marked that. We know we want that, but we got to find a shield. So I'm going to put a shield with a question mark to see if we can find it, right? That's step 5. What's step 6? Other starting items. I mean, how much money do we get? And also, again, this didn't explain extreme. The damage threshold. This should be hyperlinked to everybody. This here. That should be hyperlinked. For me. That's what I believe. We need to do some basic gear. I'm just gonna write down basic gear that we'll add. Okay. And then 6 is create a background. Well, I mean, our background is Chrono Trigger. We already know it. We are a cursed squire. Of, what's his name? Cyrus? Of course, squire of Cyrus. Cyrus. And now wielder of Masamune. Because he's got the broken sword. Masamune. Alright. I did say the word. I'm out of coffee. So character background. And 7 is experiences. Oh, okay. I don't remember this part of character creation. I was just watching the Jenny D one, and I didn't get to finish it before the show. So what's experiences? Oh, those things that give you the modifiers. So your character starts with 2 experiences, a character creation with a +2 modifier. They will earn you more through your adventures. Before creating experience, you want to have a solid idea of your character, and the background questions will help with this. List of experiences from the offered inspiration experience table. So this is the sample experience, right? Up top here on the right. Well, what do we want for the background? I mean, battle hardened, bookworm. I think loyal is a good one that could work for us. So I'll have to come up with some experiences. I'll have to think. I think I have a few written down in my list here. Because he has archaic speech. He does a lot of the, like, thou art, mayhap I shall, stuff like that. Like old school knight feeling things. So we have to pick experiences. Well, I think I want loyal. I don't see sword fighter, though. Like, I don't see anything that... It's like, I see, like, bodyguard, bounty hunter, priestess, noble, pirate, scholar, sellsword. Maybe I put knight. Maybe I put knight in here. Anything that has to do with being a knight. Like loyal and knight. Those seem like good experiences because those are going to give us a +2 on certain roles that we make. So I feel like that makes a lot of sense versus grabbing a skill version. But for now, we'll leave them. That's our 7. 8, choose our domain. That's the fun part. Got to pick our domain cards. Now here's where I want to know how this works. Domains are the core building block of Daggerheart's classes. The following domains are included in this book: Arcana, Blade, Bone, Codex, Grace, Midnight, Sage, Splendor, and Valor. Each domain has a domain deck. The deck of cards containing abilities and spells with central themes focus for the details on which each domain represents. So that wheel that I had looked at before going, oh, this is really cool. This wheel would be a great art piece. That wheel is all the domains, and that is what you're picking from for your abilities. So you kind of get to craft your class a little bit, which actually I think is awesome. So each class of Daggerheart is formed by combining 2 of these domains. For example, a warrior class comprises Blade and Bone, a druid class, Arcana and Sage, and the rogue class comprises Midnight and Grace. This combination is noted at the top of the character sheet for each class. The color of the symbols found in the subclass foundation card. To start, look at level 1 cards for the 2 class domains. Now, I kind of want to merge things. So example, here it says that each class shares its domain with at least one other class. For example, Blade is shared by Guardian and Warrior. Sage is shared by Druid and Ranger. Grace is shared by Bard and Rogue. If fellow players' classes have the same domain as yours, we encourage you to coordinate them with other classes. Okay, I see. I really kind of want to merge them together, though. I wish you could pick a class. You know what I mean? Like, because if we go through these, we go over to here, we scroll all the way up, right? And then we look at the Warrior. We scroll up in Warrior. They are Blade and Bone. So you go over here, and you have to take stuff from Blade and from Bone. Huh. I think this is a stress cost, if memory serves right. So what color is Blade and Bone? I do feel like this would be easier. We're on page 21. I want to go, yeah, here it is. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Go back to 21. Hold on. Hold on. See here, look, they have minor and major and severe on our character sheet. He's got another box. It should only be 2 boxes. That's why that was confusing. This should only be 2. It should really be 7 and 15. 7 and 15. Then this doesn't exist. So he just has an extra box there. What I want to know, if I scroll down a little bit, do they have color? Yeah, here we go. Blade is red. Blade is the axe. Bone is the crossed swords. What if I wanted to, like, take, I don't know. I want an ability from another class. While it seems very freeform and open, looking at it, I kind of feel limited. And because these are level 1s, right? So we get to pick one of these and one of these. I want more options for it. I want to be able to spread it out a little bit. Okay. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel very underwhelmed. Just whelmed. Just whelmed. It's just the words of Robin. Because I feel like I got 3 options. You know what I'm saying? And granted, when you tier up, you'll get more. I guess it's no less than you would in 5e, though, to be brutally honest. So the step 9 is connection. So we know we are blade and bone. And then 9, we're supposed to do connections, which I don't know if we'll have to do for this right away because he's by himself. Because I think that is connections to other players, and that's something I would do at the table with other people. You almost finished creating your character. Now it's time to forge their connections. These represent the relationships and personal history between your character and their fellow members. Once your group is comfortable with their finished or almost finished, so the PCs get together and do connections together. Okay. All right. I get the general gist of character creation. It is quick. Especially, I think if you have the physical cards in your hand, this part would be really quick. So, and this is the, here it is. This is the one. See, what I was hoping is, because this is warrior, these two, it would be cool if there's a way to like take another one across or something. And maybe later on you can. So that's the level here. Actually, let's grab this. So this is your level, right? Which is, that's the level you gotta, of the power. 3 is the initial cost. The number of the number and lightning bolt in the top right card show its recall cost. This doesn't affect you at character creation, but once you reach level 5, you have more cards than space in your loadout. Your set of 5 active cards, see loadout and vault section on page 101. You can normally only move an interactive card from your vault to your loadout during downtime, but you can mark the number of stress equal to the card's recall cost to swap it immediately. Okay. So you can hot swap. I mean, all right. You gain increasingly powerful cards, which utilize. Some cards provide you a stack. So basically, you have a sideboard of cards that you could spend a point to recall powers later on. Okay. Class section. All right. So let's take a look at our warrior. A little bit of a scroll here, everybody. There we go. So this is our warrior. 8, 6. So this page actually explains more than anything else does, right? So we get 11 evasion, 6 starting points. Warrior's hope, no mercy. Spend 3 hope to gain a +1 to the attack rolls next round. Attack opportunity if an adversary with a melee range attempts to leave. You can make a reaction. I love that this is a class feature. You ignore burden when equipping weapons. When you deal physical damage, you gain a bonus to your damage roll equal to your level. Well, that's kind of nice. So we do a lot of damage in melee, which is what this class should do. We did Call the Brave. We did this one for our stuff. We get Courage. When you fail a roll with fear, you gain a hope. Okay, so they're brave. I like that. And once prolonged rest before you attempt something incredibly dangerous or face against a foe who clearly outmatches you. Describe what ritual you perform or preparations you make. When you do, clear 2 stress, gain 2 hope. So they're hope fucking generators. Rise to challenge. You're vigilant in the face of mounting danger. That's a D12. Mastery later on. So that's it. We don't choose anything else. That was it. And then we would just pick our domains. We do have background questions to answer. And I think if we go back to this page and we scroll down, they have them here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the tools back on. I want to be able to add text. So I can edit these. Let's do this. And the first question was, who taught you to fight? Well, this is Cirrus. And why did they stay behind when you left home? They died. They died in front of me. In front of me. And I was cursed as his noble squire into the body of a human frog. So I want this. We want a hand. Oh, first off, fuck this font size. We're gonna go 12. Nope, that's too much. I guess we gotta do 10. 10. 10. I don't want to use Minion Pro. It's one of my least favorite of all time. Let's find a handwriting font. And we're just gonna copy and paste this. What's a good handwriting font? Does anyone know one offhand where they like love it? What's Griffin? No. See, I hate that this isn't bunched together by type anymore. Adobe, you got lazy over the years, man. You're just fucking lazy now. You really are. Really lazy. I was looking for a good handwriting because I want this to be in handwriting. I don't want cursive. I don't want cursive. I want handwriting. I want a handwriting font. Let me look something up here. See if I have one. Like I want legible. There's a lot of unlegible handwriting fonts. Let's do... I think Tiffany is pretty good. Let me see if I can just type in Tiffany now. I'd have to save it and reopen it. You fucking me? You fucking me right now? I hate this fucking program so much, dude. Alright, hold on. We're gonna save this. Hold on, everybody. We're just gonna save it. I'm gonna close it. I'm gonna reopen Glenn. Have fun! Let's go back down here. Let's edit. Select all. Let's make it a 0.10. And let's make it Tiffany. Seriously? I just installed the font. Do I have to close Adobe? Fuck my life. Fuck you, Adobe. Fuck ye. I hate ye. Yep, I have to... Let's just do Calder script. Nope, that's too hard to read. Script is always weird, man. Agent Orange? Agent Orange, isn't it? Algerian? I mean, that meets the kind of style. So hard to read. This has got to be really tiny. Like 8 point. No, there's good handwriting fonts, though. Why is it? It combined these two things together. You see this shit? It combined them. Come on, man. Adobe. Why are you dirty? Look at it. It like fucking merged them. Like I can't delete this without deleting everything else. I fucking hate this program, man. I absolutely fucking hate it. Why would you merge these two things when I never told you to merge this? No, I'm not using Sterling. But like, look. So now I have to delete this. Fucking hate you. And then I gotta duplicate this. What are you doing? No one asked for this. So I have to copy. Okay, so there's a mark here. Can I type in it? I can't type in it. So I got to make a new box. Can I duplicate this? Copy, paste. There. So now I have to retype this. So now I have to go over into here to Blood and Bone. Go back in here. Copy this text. Go back over into our Glenn sheet. Highlight these. Paste it. And now it won't be the same font. And Overpass isn't the font. Oh, what is this? I'm going to have to memorize it and type it is what's going to happen here. Somebody defeated you in battle years ago and left you to die. Okay, someone defeated you in battle years ago and left you to die. Someone... Dude, it's just stupid. Look at it. Can't even do it this way. I have to delete this entirely. I have to re-add this fucking page. Okay. Fuck this. Fuck this. Tools. Organize pages. Delete this page. Add a page. Insert from file. Go back to Warrior page 2. Hit OK. Save it. All right, now we have our second page again. It's normal. All tools. Edit this PDF. Add a text. Add text block there. Who taught you to fight and why did you stay behind? Why did they stay behind when you left home? I learned Cirrus is a traveling knight of the realm. Look how slow this types. Look at this shit. Can't even fucking decide what it wants to do. That worked throughout the realm. Later, I became his squire. I'm just gonna put that. Look how long this is taking. What are you doing? Adobe. I typed a simple sentence. A simple sentence. Why do you suck so hard? Let's please make this 8. Can we go up one more? 9. Sure. 9-point font. Let's bold it so it's easier to read. Let's put it in blue pen. Right? At least we know we wrote it in. Now can we copy this? Just don't touch this. Don't touch it. Don't fuck it up. Oh my God. This is beyond frustrating. This is the worst fucking app. Copy. Paste. All right. Really, I should just be putting a text box in this and calling it a day. So I'm just going to delete what's in here, right? I'm just going to put an H, and then we're going to do this again. So I'm going to grab this, I'm going to cut it, I'm going to paste it. Oh, nope, doesn't work. So, somebody defeated you in battle years ago. Magus left me to die. They cursed me into a frog human body. Look at that typing. Look at this freaking out. Look at it. What I just typed was basic. Basic. It took it that long to contemplate its process of doing what I want. Guys. What is Adobe doing? I think he wants to visit where Masamune was made to repair his blade. We're gonna do that. We're gonna let it pretend. Okay, I'm gonna close this dumb fucking thing. So now we have that. That took too long to put those 3 answers in, right? Way too fucking long. So we have that in. So let's go back to the core book. Yes, they are. Yeah, I'm paying for frustration. You were not wrong. You're not wrong. Also, I got this dope pencil sharpener that that's for these. I'm a big fan of it. It's like a metal bullet. It's pretty dope. Yeah, Nick, it's really annoying. All right, so we made our character. I think we hit everything on the nose. So I want to scroll through the character part after this, and we need to pick our domain features. I want to look at Ribbit. There it is. I want to see if we missed anything in the Ribbit area. So Ribbit is amphibious and long-tongued. You can move naturally underwater, and you can mark as stress if you use your tongue as a finesse close weapon that deals D12 physical damage. So we can hit people with our tongue and shit, which is from the game. So scroll down here one more time. I know they have mixed race, so this is what I was looking at. I kind of wanted to look at human in this and merge one together. But I need to look at humans and see what they get. Adobe Acrobat is the worst of the programs. Probably Premiere next. Photoshop after that. Illustrator is actually pretty good all the time. I don't have a lot of problems with Illustrator. But if we're talking about just Adobe Paint, Acrobat is a fucking nightmare. And Premiere only works when it wants to work. It's just stupid. So choose ancestry, character creation, write down. Choose an ancestry feature with your GM. Let's look at humans real quick. What do humans get? High stamina. Nah, we're just going to keep the full Ribbit bonuses. There's no reason. Super clean. All right, we got our... So we took Orderborn. So Orderborn is here. So we got that. We get our dedication piece, which I think, again, I don't see an area to put that information, which is sad. Right? So I think I'm going to do, at the end, I'm going to screenshot all of the cards that we're going to take, and I'm going to put them on this last page here. Real quick. And we're just going to take this stuff. We're going to take a healing potion, I think. So what I want to do is I want to highlight in the blue. And we're going to take a minor healing potion. And then a drawing lever or a sharpening stone. We're going to take a sharpening stone. Those are the two things we're going to take. We took all that stuff. Choose one or more from each line. Close our royal. Eyes like night. Body that's lanky, stocky, short, tall, thin, toned. I think he's toned. I would say let's say lanky and toned. Whoops. I just want to try it because they tell you to build it. I want to see what they do. I'm going to say patched and royal because his armor is kind of patched. Or no, reinforced. Because he wears chainmail. So reinforced. And then skin color of clover. And I think that's it. Attitude like a hero. That's kind of a cool little description thing. That's a nice, like, get you off the ground running thing. I actually like that a lot. We did our own for that. We don't have to worry about that. Again, we're going to have to go find weapons and decide if we can take an armor shield. So let's scroll through here. I want to play an adventure. That's what I'm looking to do right now. And then we're going to record here. Okay. This is what we're looking for. Level 1. Longsword is agility, so that brings me back to this. I think we are going to swap these. We're going to put this at 2, and we're going to put this at 1. Okay. I do wish he was better at tinkering. But it is what it is. So broadsword is one-handed. Longsword is two-handed. I kind of feel like if we go back and we look at the art for this little guy. Hold on here. He always has a sword and shield, so I feel like he's using a broadsword and a shield. So we might have to change our initial weapon. I think we're going to need a broadsword. Yeah, we're going to do a broadsword. So let's look at how this is broken down. Range is melee. Range. So what's the trait? Is that the last thing? Agility. Okay, I see. So it's agility and melee. And then the damage dice is 1d8. And they tell you to make sure you put a 1 because you add extra dice from these. Okay. +1 reliable. So burden. Burden one-handed. And reliable to attack rolls. I like actually putting a slash in between this stuff. Reliable +1 to attack rolls. So we're using a broken Masamune. That's why it's a broadsword instead of a long sword, right? Active armor, we're going to have chainmail. Okay. So let's go look up what the base score is, because that was one of our questions earlier, is if they're automatically adding our level into our 2 thresholds. So these are all weapons. Let's scroll past these. I didn't like the tiers of weapons until I understood how they work. They're just increases on the ones you already have. So it's actually pretty fucking cool at the end of the day. I actually like it a lot. It's better than what Starfinder did, where you had to write a new item down constantly. Oh, there is... Oh, secondary. Oh. I want a shield. You can. Well, let's just take a round shield. Right? I dig that. So round shield, strength and melee. So strength. Oops. God fucking damn it. No. How? When you design a character sheet, tabs should not take you from here to here. It should take you here to here. But I don't think there's a box here. I don't think this guy put a box here to fill. No, he didn't. There's no... Fuck my life. Hold on. Are we gonna have to... I think I'm gonna have to add one here. Shit. I need to be able to add. Guess it's no, that's not it. Fuck me. Create PDF, stylize this PDF. That's a new feature. Huh. I'll look at it later. They have a stylize option now. It's not what we're looking for. Where's the form fill? Prepare form. So I need to. Yeah, he forgot to put one. Fuck. And I gotta rename this too. How do I gotta rename the field. So he has A5 XD8. So he just did a poll and put this into place. Let's go put XD8 right? And then we're gonna grab this one. I'm gonna do it again. The fuck out of here. So I'm going to teach a couple tricks here. First off, you can't keep it the same. If you leave the field the same name, what ends up happening is if whatever's in that first field will also be in your second field. So one, you can't do that shit, right? Two, I usually click on this one and you got to pull up your full fucking list here. This is the order that you tab through, okay? When you click this one, you gotta find this here. And it sucks. It sucks to find this shit. So, what is this? Text 84, text underscore 84, text underscore 84. And if you click it, like you would think if I click off and click on it, it kind of brings you onto the area. It's down here at the bottom though. We need to make sure we scroll over. Oh my God, fucking knock it off, Adobe. We need to make sure that this one is underneath here. So we need extra 2, which I think we just made. So technically it goes at the bottom here. So we're just going to grab both of these. And the way I usually do that, you just hit them once and you shift click them. And then you can drag them. And we got to make sure we have our eye on X to 40 on A4, X to A4. Which I think if we drag, I think it's this one. Text A4 XTMR. I think it's that one. And now they should move to here. And now when we double check them, yep, we close it. We close this out. And we exit the formatting area. These are matched now. If I delete this and we did it right, it should not change the one up there. Yep, perfect. And we can say melee. And then what did we find out it was? Melee D4 physical. So melee. Fuck. See, it did connect them. See that? It changed that when I changed this one. So I got to go back in here again. We got to go back into prepare form. We have to scroll over to here. I have to double click in here. And let's just call this secondary trait range, right? And then we'll close it. Because you don't want them connected. And this will be secondary damage dice. See if this worked. I renamed them entirely. So hopefully when we tab, it doesn't fuck it up now. Agility melee, and this should be strength melee. Okay. Hopefully it stays. It didn't change it. Perfect. And then this is 1d4 physical. The names were too similar. Didn't count. I would have had to put an underscore, I believe. So there we go. So we have that shield. So now we have a cool secondary weapon. If we go back into the Daggerheart book, there was a one-handed, and it does have protective +1 to armor score. No evasion penalty, which is nice. The next tower one up does. So what we're going to do, we're going to go here. We're going to add our feature. And then we're going to go up to armor, and we're going to add 1. So now we have a 5 to our armor instead. That's dope. So we have our sword and our shield. We can fight with the shield. We can block with the shield for +1. That gives us a little bit more defense. It's strength-based, so we do have something to use that +1 strength with. It's a round shield, which matches our little frog. So if we go back over here, we need to look at armor. Right, there was nothing else there. One-handed. Oh, burdened. I didn't see a burden table, which is weird. But I'm just going to put one-handed here, just so we know. I'm going to go like that. Let's save it. We did a lot of work. We know how Adobe likes to crash and fuck up. We're just going to save this bitch. We're also going to put up here blade and bone, because that's the other categories that our domains are under. I can see mixing domains to make your own classes really easily. So now we got to find armor. So here's our armor table. We took chainmail. 715 is the start. So when we go look at this, underneath here, it says 715. It should be 816 because you add your level to it. I want to know if these already have them in. Players can choose one piece of armor or character creation GM can make available throughout the campaign as the PC's level up. But if we go back to the section for character creation, so we go back to 16, and we look at the armor area, which is on the next page, 2 pages. It says here, you use armor to reduce the damage incoming attacks. So that's not it. Thresholds. We need the threshold section. Where's thresholds? The armor's damage threshold shown as base thresholds column indicate how much damage a character can endure before making or marking hit points. Add your character's level to both these values. So it is actually an 8, 16. Oops. Done. And then this doesn't matter. I'm just going to put a fucking X in here. Really, this box just is from a hangover from beta. So that's pretty good. Our experiences here, we decided that we were going to go with loyal. And then we were going to go with knight. This should be a 2 and a 2, like so. Also, I don't like that I just tabbed and it went down. it should be going back and forth when you tab through this kind of thing. Another thing that when you're making a form fill, make sure the tab goes to the next category that you're going to be filling out. But for now, it's a beta sheet. I'm going to fuck. I just need it. I think that's our 2 experiences. I can't think of a better experience for him because I don't think he was a blacksmith. Let me look. I'm seeing if he reforged the sword or if someone else did it for him. Okay. It is someone else who reforges the sword for him. Melikor reforges. So that's what I thought. He is the guru of, aka the guru of life, who reforges the full sword for him. Okay. Okay, cool. So, Loyal and Knight is perfect. 2 and 2. We get 6 to start, 6 to start. I didn't see anything that altered our little buddy's character stuff. So let me back up here. I want to go back to here. Let's scroll down. I want to look at nope. Does anything else add? I don't go get anything that adds yet. I think that's it. I think we're done. I really do. I think that's it. I think that's everything. Because our extra gear and stuff, we kind of already know what it is. So that means let's go down here. I want to click Ribbit. I want to cut it. I want to go to Glenn. I want to go to this sheet. I want to see if I can paste it. I might have to edit it. Damn. Okay, hold on. Can I just paste an image to the table? I have to do edit. I can't do it this way. I actually have to edit it and do... I want to be able to just put our cards in here to showcase it at the end. Which means I would need to go to tools. I have to do fucking edit this PDF again, I think. I'm going to say edit PDF. There we go. Shrink it down, right? Zoom out a touch, everybody. So we got our ribbit. So what else do we need? We need ribbit. Let's go back into the book. And let's grab our highborn. Or no, not highborn, sorry. Orderborn. So we're going to copy this as an image. I'm going to go back. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to shrink this down. Let's line them up so they're similar. And shrink it down until they match. Okay. Orderborn. Let's go back into the book again. We are called Brave. So we're going to cut this. I'm going to go to here. Paste it. And then I think this one while I'm going to make it the same size, I'm going to put it on the row below. All right. Like that. And I'm going to put it here. Because I'm going to put my fighters, my warrior stuff here. So we go back in, and that's our master. So we don't really have that yet. Right? Eventually, maybe. But Call the Brave. Rise the Challenge. We do have this. Let's kind of line it up again. And I'm actually going to swap these. Because we have this one, we don't have the other one yet. We're just kind of future-proofing the character by making a one sheet, right? Like this. Let's go back in one more time. I think we have this battle right. Okay. So we'll put this in. Size it. All right, there we go. No more class stuff, right? Right? Okay, now I got spells and shit. So these are level 10. So we don't have any of this stuff. Because we only get the domain part. So if we scroll all the way... Oh, shit. I went the wrong way. Dumbass. All the way to the beginning of this section. We're only going to have the level 1s. And we have Blade and Bone. So this is Blade. And Bone. My question is, do we get both of these? Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, do I get all three? And you swap them? I'm curious as to this part. I think this is the part I don't understand. Is how many domain abilities we get. So let's quickly go back to domains. For picking them, right? Let's go all the way back to where we found that circle. Before all this shit. Maybe it's before this. Okay. Scroll down. Domains are the core themes of the class. Combination of two domains form. We know that. How many do we get to start? That's all I want to know. Where does it say? During character creation and as you level up, you gain powerful new domain cards which provide. Some domain cards. Level number top left. How many do we get? Do we just always carry 3? That's what I want to know. And I feel like it hasn't explained it anywhere. I'm looking. I think you get the whole thing. Domains are the core building blocks of Daggerheart's class. The following, okay, yep. Each class in Daggerheart is formed by combining 2 of these domains. For example, the warrior class compromises blade and bone. Okay, yeah, great. To start, look at level 1 cards for your classes, 2 domains, and choose 2 cards. Oh, okay. We get 2. You can do 2 from the same or 1 from each. Perfect. So let's scroll back down. I wish that was on the character sheet. I think Whirlwind, for sure. This matches our little guy, right? Oh, wrong thing. Let's match this to this one. Okay, we'll move it down here. And do we want another one from here or down here? Deft maneuvers once per turn mark a stress to sprint anywhere within far range without making an agility roll. That'd be cool because we can jump. I like this. I like being able to jump to the target. So let's go with this, because I see it as a leap for Glenn. Right? I see carrying a, I think characters are going to have the little card sleeves a lot for this. All right. So now I want to organize pages, right? And we're going to add another blank page at the end. Insert blank. And then we're going to go like this. And now we have a nice little sheet that has our 3 core cards, our 2 core cards. What we get as we go through, we only have a beginning one, right? We have Call of the Brave, Specialization, Foundation. We don't have the Mastery yet. We just have these 2, but we have it here for later. And then we have the Whirlwind and Deft Maneuvers. So I think that's everything for our character. I'm going to set up to record a quick overview of what we've done. Inventory, I didn't want to put that we have a torch, right? We took a torch. We have our inventory armor, which is chainmail. Base score is 7. What was it? 715? 7/15. It is heavy armor. And then that means it has -1 evasion, right? We don't have a secondary weapon here other than a dagger. We do have that because we start with one, I think. Oh, no, we don't. We don't have a dagger. I'll have to pick one up. I kind of think we're going to have a dagger. I think it'd be dumb if he didn't have like a pocket knife. You know what I mean? So let's bust back up into equipment and gear. Let me find gear. It's called gear. Armor. Let's try armor. Or what am I saying? Weapons. There we go. And let's look dagger. I think it's going to be a second weapon. So yeah, because these are primary. I think we got to go all the way down to secondaries because secondary weapons do less damage. I think that's how they're built. No, I'm not looking for wheelchairs, guys. Yeah, small dagger. So I guess I don't have another weapon yet. So we're just going to erase this. We're going to save what we've done so we can go over what we have here. I think this looks good. Oh, I do have this, though. You ignore burden when equipping weapons. When you deal physical damage, you gain a bonus to your damage equal to your level. So we are doing a D8 technically +1. So we should put this in here, right? And then D8 or D4 +1. Like so. Okay. And we should have physical here, not this. Physical. And then why is this base score? I must have fucked it up. 7/15. And then heavy armor -1 evasion. I think we ignore this burden, everybody. We're going to have to double check it. But I think when we are wearing armor, because our you ignore burden when equipping weapons. Oh, just weapons. I thought it was weapons and armor. That would have been really sweet. But it's just weapons. Okay. All right. I'm going to save this. I'm going to set it for a quick recording so we can go through this. I'm going to turn off the scroll on the bottom. We're going to go to full cam. We're going to grab different music. I'm going to try to use this short and sweet. Let's do this one. Yeah. Okay. A little water. Because I got to bounce after this because I got to prep for a meeting. All right. Start the recording. Put the ad up. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, I just got finished with our live show and I wanted to record character creation for Daggerheart. There's so many people doing it, but I had some things I didn't understand, and the best way for me to do it is just to make a character. So I dove into my past as a kid and decided, you know what? It's time to make Glenn from Chrono Trigger. Because who doesn't want to play a ribbit? And the best ribbit I know, short of Kermit the Frog, is obviously Glenn from Chrono Trigger. So let's get into this. Let's show how I picked everything out. I even wrote a few things down that I'll show, and then just kind of the process they have in the book and where I ran into a few speed bumps on making a new character in Daggerheart. Let's go over to the table and let's get this going. So the first thing I would tell everybody is you need to have page 16 up. I would read through all of 14, 15, 16. They're pretty important in character creation. They walk you through the whole process, and you can see what I did is I wrote down their 8 steps. So my 8 steps, I wrote them all down. I knew I was making Glenn, what I wanted him to be able to do. The ribbit kind of fulfills the special attacks and what I want a special attack to be. But then I had to figure out my class, my subclass, my heritage. I had to assign stats. I had to do additional info, starting gear. I know I'm a cursed squire of Cirrus from the game. And then I had to do my experiences, my domain cards, and then the connections, 9, I'm not doing today. So I'll do that at the table with whoever I end up gaming with. So it was just a quick write-up. I wanted to kind of go through the steps myself and pick everything that I wanted to do. So let's go over to Glenn, and I'm going to show you a few hacks that I did as well for the character sheet. So the biggest problem is, unless you have Nexus or a printer, I wanted to be able to do form fill. The only form fill I can find right now is a gentleman who did the beta 1.2 character sheet as a form fill. I did have to fix a few things. There was a missing entry here and here, but overall, it has everything right except for there isn't a severe section anymore. It's just minor and major when you're taking damage. I cross-referenced this using all of the sheets you can download from Criticalroll, and you can see minor damage, major damage, and severe. He just doesn't need the extra box. You could delete the box. I just put an X into it, so I didn't put anything in there. Went through. My process was really simple. I knew I wanted to be a warrior of some form. I didn't want him to be casting healing spells, so Guardian and things like that were out of, the question of being Glenn. So I did Warrior, Blade and Bone are the two domains. You can find that stuff. This beginning piece is just kind of what you need to do over these 9 steps. But if you click these, hyperlink drink, for those who know, when you click these, they will take you into the class. So I went down here, read briefly between the play, the Call of the Brave, or play, the Call of the Slayer. He's not really a Slayer, but he is extremely brave. If you click this, though, it'll take you to the sheet. The sheet gives you basically all the main things you got to fill out. What I would remind you is you're not going to have the master thing yet. I believe you get that later on when you're doing stuff, or maybe that is the mastery feature that you get. It is. You do get it. Oh, that's really cool. I didn't think you started with this. I thought it was level-based, but it's not. So you do get that mastery feature as well. So your class kind of gives you these core things you can do, which is on the left-hand side of the sheet, right? That's your domains. You're starting evasion. You're starting hit points. Your class items, which you're going to pick, along with your feature, your class features, and then you're going to see your specialization one, and you're going to be grabbing that stuff as well. If you print the sheets, they already have these things kind of put in place for you, where you can kind of see the options that you have and what you're going to be picking. You don't get anything till later on, level 2, but at least you can print these out and have your questions ready, and they give you some really good suggested traits. Now, for Glenn, I knew he was a sword fighter. I went through and put the +2 there for him, because when you're making your character, you get a +2, a +1, a +1, 2 zeros, and a -1 that go into your stats. These do change as you level up, but we're making a level 1. So Glenn, he's a sword fighter. I looked up weapons. I wanted to see how weapons work, and I know that he has the broken Masamune, which is his master's sword that hasn't been reforged yet. They are strength melee weapons, and so during the live show, I actually swapped my strength and my agility. I was like, man, I think these are actually supposed to be an agility weapon, right? So what I did is I went into the Daggerheart core book. I wanted to see what weapons were. I went all the way to the back of the book because they lovingly hyperlinked their entire index. So if you get into their index here, you can click weapons and pick what you want from that section. And remember, their weapons tier up. So you don't get, how do I explain this? If you've played Starfinder, weapons in Starfinder are level-based. They are in this game as well, but they're actually just increases of the weapon you are currently carrying. The best way to do this is for me just to show you the table for how weapons work and burden and everything else. You can read more about it on your own, which again, I'd recommend. Read the book, go through it, figure out what everything is. But they do have your primary weapons and your secondary weapon tables. So I was going to give him a longsword, but I decided Bastard Sword made more sense because it's one-handed, and our boy uses a shield. For inspiration, I should probably show you what I'm doing here. I have this pulled up as my inspiration. A gentleman over on ArtStation made a really cool fan art piece of Glenn, and I'm using this from the Gentleman Art Cup as a reference piece. But I noticed that he has a sword, but he is missing his shield. In the game, you have a shield and a sword, so I gave him a shield as a secondary weapon. Now, all this said and done, it's pretty easy. Like, I knew what I needed. I knew what I had. I knew that he needed to have this ability to have an agility-based weapon. But when I went in here, this thing is broken. If I type in agility, it changes it to strength every time. And I don't have a real easy way to fix it besides going through and fixing it manually like that. So I put it in, for some reason it was auto-filling it and it keeps changing it back. So again, this form fill sheet it isn't 100%. It's not great. I'm going to try to clean this up and find the guy who made the original and see if I can get the rights to put it out for you guys, because I think we all want a form fill for this game. But I know that this is agility. I've deleted it. It shows it when I click it. I don't know what's going on, but my damage isn't right either. It's a D8. So all this said and done, now I'm back to I have to print this. So making characters for this game, while easy, I really feel they need to put out a form fill sheet, because I just kept running into problems with this fan-made sheet when Critical Role should be giving us a form fill sheet on their site. I've looked around, it's not there as of recording. I'm sure they're going to put one out in the future, but we really, really, really need one. Not all of us want to use Nexus. Some people have it on a PDF viewer on their phone. When I'm running a game, I don't want Nexus up. I want to be able to have the PDF up. So, Critical Role, if you ever watch this, please give us a form fill for these sheets. All of them would be amazing, but at least the core one, similar to what I have on screen from the gentleman from Beta 1.2. With that said, we're going to move back over to page 16, and we're going to look through the rest of this process and what I chose and how I did it. We're going to do this fast. Are you ready for the speed run, y'all? All right, we're going to be playing a warrior. We know we're doing the brave route because that's perfect for Glenn. All right, heritage, very simple. I looked at it. I picked Ribbit. I thought about merging human in that since he's actually a cursed human, but I think Ribbit itself, because they get a tongue attack, is perfect for the character. Our community, I went with Orderborn. While he is kind of noble, the idea of what comes in Orderborn fits the character a lot more. Language to take care of themselves. There's nothing special that we really need to do there right now. I went through and assigned the stat array that you see here, the 2, 1, 1, 0, 0, -1, into agility, strength, finesse, instinct, and presence, along with knowledge. I remember him having some knowledge when I played through the games when I was younger, so I went high agility, decent strength, and then went over and gave him a pretty good presence, but I made his finesse lower. I don't remember him really being a hider or a tinkerer. I even looked up to see if he rebuilt his blade later on. He did not. He had somebody else build this legendary sword back. So I gave that to his negative. Pretty simple stat array. Nothing crazy. It all works. It's there to go. After you pick this, you have some additional stuff in step 4. Your evasion, it starts at an 11 for our class. It shows you that in the warrior, but we're wearing chainmail, so that drops it down 1. I'm okay with that. Get some extra hits. And we have a shield, which I found out later gives us another armor bonus, so we're at 5. 5 basically times that we can use armor to take those hits. And then we do our hit points, our stress, which have a starting amount. They are very simple. There's nothing special. You can see they're already kind of baked in. We didn't have anything that raised it. They're going to raise as you level up. If you look at the character sheets that are in here, you can see options where I know later on we could kind of boost up what we have. But I didn't see anything to really change our hit points out of the game. If I'm wrong and someone knows there's something for hit points, help everybody out and put it down below. But to start, I think the warrior just kind of starts with that. They also talk about hope and fear and what you start with. Those are already marked on these character sheets for a level 1, which is really cool. And then after that, we do our starting equipment. Now, let's talk about the starting equipment. When you scroll down, I added this page into the PDF one so I could have an area to highlight the things that I wanted, along with filling out my background questions and having an area later on to check boxes off. I'm going to go through and I think make this form fill for myself as well. But I don't have the cards here printed out and I don't have my physical copy yet. But what I did is I made an extra page and I just copied and pasted the cards from the back of the book to remind myself what these are. I can either print them for myself or just have it with my PDF. All you do is do organize and add a blank page and literally edit and copy and paste these in. If you don't have Adobe Acrobat to be able to do this stuff, there are other applications out there to do it. A friend of ours of the show and I have been looking at a couple online. I'll post a link for a good PDF reader online down in the bio, I think it's necessary because Adobe failed me 5 times during recording of just this piece. So I have my Ribbit, my Orderborn, I have my 3 abilities from Call of the Brave, and then under domains, we're going to get to pick stuff. So let's get past this and into that. I selected my starting gear from the stuff that was there, took a bastard sword, a shield on the side, chainmail armor. I also took the beginning gear that they recommend because it made sense to me. I want 50 foot of rope, a torch, basic supplies, and a handful of gold. Money is measured in handfuls and chests and stuff like that in this game, so the handful of gold, they really mean a handful of gold. With that said, we go on to the next section. Step 6 is a background. I got lucky, man. The background's in the game. We know he's a human who got cursed, who is a knight, or was a squire of Cirrus. He's now a knight carrying it and trying to hunt down Magus who cursed him. Spoiler alert, you end up traveling with that character later on anyway. But we know the background. It was really easy to make this for myself. I didn't choose really any other starting gear other than the stuff that they gave us, but the background was simple. I had to do a lot. Experiences, this feels a little vague when I was making it. I get the idea as a GM. As a player, I would kind of wonder about what to do, but experiences are things that you're a little better at. They're kind of like skills in all of the games. You get 2 experiences that each have a +2 modifier to start. When using them, you get that bonus that is added on to whatever you roll if it involves those. Now, because I know Glenn, because I played an entire video game, I put loyal because he's a loyal person and a knight. In the book here on page 20, they do give you a bunch of samples using like experience samples from your backgrounds, your characteristics, your specialties, your skills, your phrases. I didn't want to do a phrase from him, but that might be something I would do later because they talk about changing your experiences later if ones don't fit, finding a way with your GM to swap them out. I think it shows character growth. It shows what you're good at. Maybe you started as a scrappy squire, but when you become this badass knight with this reforged sword, maybe I want to be a blade master or something. So that's pretty cool. I like the idea of having this as a thing to swap. 8, you pick your domain cards. This took me a couple minutes to figure everything out, but they do have a really cool wheel in here. Look. I would kind of print this, I think, and put it on the inside of the GM screen for myself. I'm going to pull it up for you all to see it. But basically, domains, there are a total of 9. Each class uses 2, and there are a few classes that share a domain. So check this out. This is on page 24 for those who have it at home and want to know what I'm looking at. So these are the domains, and for the warrior, we get blade and bone, right? But they share that with other people. Over here, this page explains just about everything. You can tell that the warrior has their bone and blade. I do wish this was color-coded to match the cards, but that's just me. But they share blade with guardian, and they share bone with ranger. So you can see how if someone's playing a ranger, you want to make sure you don't overlap with your abilities. When you start, you pick 2 abilities. There is a full extra PDF that is artless to make it easier for you to print. Or if you go all the way, which we've done a couple times now, in the back of this book, you can find all of the cards here as well. And you just go up into the level 1 stuff and pick 1, well, 2 in total. I picked 1 from each because I wanted a little bit of variety. Later on, you'll be able to swap these out and swap them between like a sideboard in Magic the Gathering. That's the best way I can explain it. So I took Whirlwind and I took Deft Maneuvers because I remember him being able to hit more than one person with a sword. And also, since he has a leap, I want him to be able to jump into combat. And Deft Maneuvers really helps with that. After that, it's just kind of like tidying up the character sheet and adding a few things. I put all my class features here. I just copied it from the real one. I have a torch in my inventory, and then I saw that it was down here, and I was like, well, geez, everybody. Why don't we just copy this, go back up here, and paste it? So now we have a torch, 50 foot of rope, basic supplies, and a handful of gold. We know we have a handful. I'm going to click the handful box because I know that's what I have. I don't have any extra armor. I don't have any extra weapons in my inventory, but I do have a tongue attack as a ribbit, which I'm pretty excited about. But that's it. That's how you make a character. They even add some fun little things here, like choose a healing potion or a stamina potion. And then either a drawing of a lover, or maybe you have a sharpening stone. I picked a sharpening stone for my damaged weapon. They have character descriptions to help you where they say pick 1 to 2 things from each line. They have some background questions, which I just use Chrono Trigger to fill out. And then connections at the table once you get started. All in all, while I learned character creation over the course of an hour, I feel like I can make a character in about 15 minutes. It's pretty simple. Everything's in one spot. There are some cheat sheets over on Criticalroll as well you can download to make your life a little easier. Now, there is one more thing that I found. And I thought this was really cool, and I was hoping that they would have kept this, but they didn't. Criticalroll had these things called sideboards. I don't know if you saw them. It's kind of cool, but they kept them on their website. So if you go over to their website, you can go into their resources and then into downloads, and you're going to get this page. They have all the character sheets and things like that you can down here, but in additional sheets, if you click this, I noticed that they have a GM guide sheet in here, which is really cool. They also have the sliding difficulty. This is something every GM should have at their table, but if we scroll down, they have a full character creation section where you can just check off the bubbles as you go. They have some pre-made names and shit to make your life easier. They have a player guide for you. They have a downtime guide for you. And then these are the sidebars. These are the parts that go on each side of your character sheet that explain what everything is. And you just kind of put the page underneath and you can slide it back and forth or cut it down the middle, and it lets you know what everything on your character sheet does. I ended up referencing this to make my character because it was so much faster for that first character level. Equipment is in here. All the basics are in here. They even have the ability to make your own ancestry and domain cards, but unfortunately, none of these are form fillable. So Daggerheart, what do I think? I think the character creation's really easy. I can see GMs making custom domain crossovers to make like necromancers or maybe blade singers like we saw on 5e. Maybe it is a combination of a sword and one of the spells and making a new class in between. I'm excited to see all the domain cards that come out. I know in June they're going to launch the card creator on their site, which I've talked about on a previous live show. Overall, I'm ready to play in next to no time. I made a character based around something I already knew because I thought that would be fun, and I wanted to make a ribbit because I loved Glenn from Chrono Trigger. So that's it for me here on Erik Frankhouse Presents, with a little bit of how to build a Daggerheart character. Really quick, I did it live on the show. If you want to see the full version, check down below. Watch me fight with Adobe. Adobe, if you're watching, fix your shit. To Criticalroll, thanks for making a great game. If you see anything around you, click it. You know the routine. But most of all, comment down below. What are you making for your first character? Have you made a character yet? Did you hit any hurdles that were a problem for you? I myself, it was the thresholds for armor. I didn't know if I was supposed to add my level right away, or if it was baked into the armor on the warrior sheet, or if it wasn't, I had to go through that section and find that out. So, very simple. You add your level of the thresholds. You just do. And it adds it through the entire game. So that was my fault for not realizing that's what that was. Enjoy the game, everybody. We'll be doing more. I might try to do a solo play with Glenn here to see if I can figure out how to run both sides of the die live on one of my shows. Have a great day. Watch, listen, learn, be a better gamer. And of course, for all my fans, stay rotten. So I'll edit that up. I also have a bad cough. I don't really have anything else for the day today. I like the game. I like the overall character creation. I like what is available in here. I think it's a pretty solid set piece. I do think that there's some hurdles I missed. I think that has to do with being such a large book. I also think that they have to make a fucking form fill. We need form fill sheets. It's like hyperlink and form fill are like my two pet peeves. I remember when I was running Archiver and I said we don't have any form fills to be able to show things off on screen, or for me to be able to show off, but also for players to be easily track and not more people have the access to a form fill than they do a printer. That's just a fact, right? So I think I'm going to print off this character sheet this week and write them out and see how it goes. But that's it from the live show. I got to get ready for a meeting at 7, everyone. I will be around, I think, tomorrow. I think we're going to do another Breachers in Shadow Dark, pick up with our Berserker and our little companion, and find out where we're going to go from there. I'm excited to do more of the Soul Journeying stuff. I have a bunch of notes for Soul Journeying. Don't forget about the newsletter. If you haven't signed up for it, that's coming out here at the end of the month. And of course, on Friday, I will have another recipe card for all of the Dungeon Chef fans and a new monster as well. That's it for me. Stay rotten, everybody. And I feel like I want to yell bats, but I have no bats for the show, and it hurts.